What's up, Gemini? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to your tarot reading. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire. Damn, your cards are popping already. An open heart, an open mind, a desire to learn something to better yourself. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, please don't force them. Assume they're going out to someone else, release them, and the messages may make sense for you in the future. So again, just be open to that. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. I need to start because the cards are just like, now we're ready. Okay, so yeah, cool. Hit the like button. Let's do it for Gemini. What's coming up in Gemini's past that needs to be seen? The Three of Earth. All right, so that typically talks about working among a team, working among a group. It's progress, it's productivity, it's like trying to establish some sort of stability. Some of you may be trying to establish your own financial independence if you have been living with someone or, you know, having to borrow money or ask for loans. You may be in a place where you're trying to clear out debt and you're looking in terms of like the long term with your finances. I don't know why that was so urgent to come out. I was expecting something major, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? I have to be honest, I am hesitant to use this deck, and like for some reason for the Gemini reading, I don't know, I was being told to use it, and I'm like, really, this deck? I don't use it because it's hard to shuffle. Like, my hands are tiny, and this deck is effing huge. But yeah, anyway, we'll see. Maybe the messages will be very profound, and I'll be like, oh, I like this deck. We'll see. I don't dislike it, it's just kind of whatever. All right, so what is the impact of the past events? The Three of Pentacles, currently you're with the Page of Water. Okay, so that can be something to do with your children, if you have children. Pages, metaphorically, though, are like young, naive, immature, still learning the ropes, a little bit out of their depths, you know, out of their waters, quite literally. It can be student energy, it can be children energy. So some of you may be taking on the role of student in order to learn more about your finances or your own stability. Some of you may be doing a lot of research about health and healing of your body. And also some of you may be future-proofing, I'm hearing, for children, or planning your children's future in terms of like setting aside money or, you know, something, I don't know, something for college, whatever. Some of you are maybe thinking about a career involving children or working with children. Again, there's so many storylines here. I'm not sure which to focus on, so we got to keep going, and then we'll see what comes through the loudest. Gemini's emotions regarding the situation, the Six of Air. So wanting to move on from something. All right, so if this is romantic for you, Gemini, it seems like you started to build with someone and you didn't feel like you were being respected per se, or you didn't feel like you guys were on the same page, as the Page card comes out. So there's a couple messages here, and I'm not going to jump to like, you've had some tough messages, Gemini. I just want to acknowledge that. So far, this doesn't look super messy, but it does look like a very small revelation in terms of your self-respect. So yeah, possibly building with someone who, with Page of Water, it's like there was emotion there on there, and there was some feelings, there was some flirting, there was some romance. But with the Page of Water, it can kind of sink into like the hopeless romantic, everything's going to work out like a Cinderella story. And you know, with the Page of Water, it's like they haven't necessarily experienced emotions like this before, or a person like this before. So it's not saying you've always been celibate, you've always been single, yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there was something about this connection that was new to you. It was like, yeah, thank you. There was, what is the expression? Unfamiliar territory. Something about this person's soul could have been very romantic, you know, passionate, an artist, like hopeless romantic, wine and dine, swoony energy. Maybe. I'm just giving you kind of examples of like that watery energy, right? Or very like deep felt emotions. You could have been dealing with someone who just, either they wore their heart on their sleeve and they were very open and vulnerable, and maybe for some of you Geminis that was like, ooh, this is a lot of emotional talk and I'm not sure what to do with it. Or it could have been the opposite. It could have been like trying to, you know, pry something open to get some sort of answers or clarity on what it is they're feeling. And to be honest, that's more the storyline I get. I almost think Page of Water is coming through because maybe your person is, I'm wanting to say emotionally immature, and maybe that isn't quite the correct term, but something about they're not used to having to express how they're feeling to people, when maybe that's something that at this point in your life, your dating relationships, whatever, you're absolutely requiring in a partner. And so to be honest, I think I think you were intrigued by them, but you're starting to look in the distant horizons and be like, what else is out here? Because this is too much work. It's requiring too much of my teamwork just to get them to show up in a relationship the way I need them to. And vice versa. I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking that the Page of Earth has like the higher ground here. You have like the more mature version, the more insight. You have a higher ranking, so to say. There might actually be an age difference here for some of you. It doesn't have to be, though. With the Page of Water, it's like they're flirty, but there's something about it where I'm almost think emotionally you're thinking maybe you need to establish some distance there, possibly. So the Six of Air is Mercury in Aquarius. So I almost take that to mean there's a lot of different scenarios and how this could play out, and emotionally you don't have that certainty. And so for some of you, I'm not sure if this is true, but for some of you, you may be contemplating, is it easier to just detach now and walk away and not get my heart broken? Almost like that energy of, is it easier if I just leave them now than they reject me later? And it's interesting though, because it's like you're coming into this a much more, to use a cheesy phrase, like woke person, if you will, or awakened, or you have a better pulse on what it is you're looking for in a partner. It's with the Page of Water, there's nothing wrong with this card, but it's a little bit slow to show up in a big emotional way. That's what I get from this. And again, this might not be romantic for all of you, so you can put it in the context of or any type of relationship or job. Maybe you're dealing with a sibling who's very emotionally immature, and like you're trying to build something with them and restore a relationship, and like they're just not there yet. So you're like, okay, I'll revisit this later. Like, do you know what I mean? The Six of Air is not like, peace, I'm out, I'm done with this. It's very like, I'm going on the facts that I have and taking them as truth because that's all I can do. I'm operating on what I know to be true by now, and I'm moving forward because I can't be stuck in like la la land, hangman land, things on pause, on delay, waiting for my person to show up in a different way. So I actually think in some ways this is actually a very healthy way of looking at the circumstances. Let's see what else. So what is in Gemini's plans? Interesting, you got two cards. So the Chariot and the Two of Fire. Yeah, you are at a bit of a crossroads. You do have several cards of quite literally like vessels and vehicles of moving forward. And the Two of Fire, we have to remember that's Aries energy. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, right? So it's the start, it's the fire, it's the initiator, it's the spark, it's the kindle. It's that motivation to move forward. So I think some of you are like, you're either coming with me or you're not. Because maybe, and I'm sure you do, you have bigger fish to fry. It's like you have things that you have to carry on within your own life. And I just sort of get this like, I don't think you're necessarily vocalizing this, but it's like you're looking over your shoulder like, so are you on board with this? Like, are you coming with me or is this where we part? Or are we pushing pause on this? Are we revisiting this? And to be honest, Gemini, this could be a new person, but this could also be someone that you have an on again, off again thing with. It does kind of feel like that a little bit too. Some of you may be at a crossroads with a Cancerian. You do have the Chariot. That's the first major arcana that has come out. If it doesn't have to do with Cancer energy, Cancerian energy, it may have to do with not accepting less than you deserve, not becoming a quote unquote parent in what should be an equal give and take relationship, like there could be something here with a parent-child dynamic, but metaphorically it could also feel like you are having to parent this person through some stuff. And who knows, guys, you could read through this a million ways. Like for some of you, you may be with a partner that you love, but they're going through something right now that is very difficult for you to kind of get a pulse on. And it's like you're trying to pry open the information. And maybe this is a quote unquote journey, spiritual journey that it's forcing them to step up and be independent and be their own advocate and maybe do something without you being their co-pilot. And maybe throughout this, you're still going to live together and share a bed together and all that stuff. But maybe they're going through something with their own family. Maybe they're going through something at work where it's like, I can only be your support system so much. Like Aquarius had a very similar reading. It's like, I love you, but I can't do everything for you. At some point, you got to step up and be your own hero. And I think that's really sort of a kind of what I'm getting here too. Aquarius, I gave them this message of whether it's a parent-child dynamic or whatever this is, metaphorically, it's like your kid is being bullied at school, and as the parent, like the mama bear instincts come out where you're just like, oh my God, who is that kid? And I want to rip their effing head off and blah, blah, blah. But you can't do that, right? You can, you have to be able to talk about it with your kid and give them some strategies, give them the best advice or guidance you can. But ultimately, they're going to have to face the bully on the playground. And, are they going to act with kindness? Are they going to ignore it? Are they going to get into a fist fight? Like, there's a little bit of there's a lot of different scenarios and outcomes and options with the Six of Air, but part of it requires nothing of you. In fact, I sort of think you're being asked to release and let go and know that I think you've done what you can for this person and the rest is up to them. And, hopefully your sound advice, I'm hearing the word sage, that's funny, your sound advice or guidance, hopefully that will stick in their head or I don't know, something about what you've passed on to them. It's like the Two of Fire. It's like passing on the torch of wisdom or something that hopefully illuminates what they need to see, hear, believe, but yada, yada, yada. Hopefully that will impact them in a way where, I don't know, you guys continue to move forward together, to build together, whatever this is, but it's like a release. You can't do everything for them, even though you'd like to. With the Chariot energy, again, no matter who you are in the scenario and what dynamic this is, there's something about I want to nurture and defend and protect you. Like, I'm loyal to you, but I think you're questioning, do I have that back? Or did this person really hear me and acknowledge what I said? So this is kind of like going off book, so to say, but how is this person feeling about Gemini? I mean, with Page of Water, there is love there, but again, it's like it's either not enough to keep you nourished and fulfilled and satisfied, or it's someone coming at something that is emotionally immature. But how are they feeling about Gemini? The Four of Earth, I think they want something stable with you, but it's not my most, again, I don't mean to make this weird because I don't know what the dynamic is here, but if this is a love and romance thing for you, that's not my most sexy card. I mean, sometimes it's like what we call the miser card, and if we zoom out from that, it's a card, it's like they're holding back a little bit. They're not sharing the emotion with you, and that's really what I'm sensing from that. Now it is, I believe it's Sun in Capricorn, and I mean, in some ways this card is appropriate because we are at the very tail end of Capricorn season. So it could be, again, something about this person is focused on their money, their finances, their stability. And for some of you, I think you are too. So there's, you mirror things back to each other that you're desiring in relationships and in life. And so like that seems to be a priority for both of you, is money, relationships, safety proofing, the future, etc. I do like that there's progress here, if I'm being honest. Like we go to the Three of Earth to the Four of Earth. So I mean, if these are two separate people, it's like you both are kind of getting on the same page. You're at the same, do you know what I mean? Like it's funny because we said you're not on the same page. I think you're on the same page about earthly things, about practicality, about reality. It's the emotional stuff that I don't think you're on the same page with. So what is holding Gemini back in this spread? What is holding Gemini back? Some of you may also be exiting a job or having to have there's my alarm. Y'all like Blink-182? Hold on, I gotta turn off all my alarms or they're just gonna keep going off. That new Blink album though, right? Like, it's not terrible. Tom sounds a little older, but I kind of like that poppy love song. All right, anyway, moving on. Sorry, guys. I almost called you Capricorn. What is holding Gemini back? Queen of Earth. Okay. Holding on to resentment for some of you. Again, money stuff. And I don't necessarily mean that in a good or bad way. Just, I mean, it's very Capricorn energy. It's cardinal Earth. So it's something to do with money, long-term endeavors, long-term success, questioning your career path. And there's nothing wrong with questioning your career path, but I don't know. Somehow it's affecting this. So, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I might revisit that because I kind of want to see what's going to help Gemini move forward. What's going to help them forward in their advice section, actions to take, what they need to embrace, finding their willpower. Okay, so Six of Water. Interesting. All right, so Six of Water is the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is typically one of my favorite cards in tarot, but it's because I have so much water in my chart and I'm a very sentimental, nostalgic person. This looks a little bit less sentimental. It looks like longing, but without the other person there. And I feel like that's going to mean something to some of you out there as well. This is random, but for some of you, it's like, I wish I could talk to my mom about this, and you feel like you can't, and that could be for a variety of different reasons. But the thing is, especially for, and I don't predict death, y'all know that, right? It's not what I'm asked to relay in my messages, you know, whatever. That's just not how I roll. So if you already have a maternal energy in your life that is no longer here in the 3D earth, right? The earthly realm, there's something to be said for you can still communicate with your mother about this. I don't know why mother is coming through so strong, but it is. So I'm just going to stick with that. But, you know, whoever your spirit guide is, someone that you knew in this lifetime, though, not someone who's only been in like ghost form or spirit form. There's a message like they're still around you. They can still guide you. They're still listening. You can still talk to them. You can still, you know, speak to them in your prayers. You can still pull out your tarot cards and ask, you know, what they think on the situation. It's like the mother energy is very much around you, but it's also very much strong within you, right? I mean, yeah. Especially if your mother was a Taurus. I'm being called to say that, which is interesting. I guess maybe if you're a Gemini rising, that would maybe make sense. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, the mother energy is very much strong within you. So that natural instinct to nurture and desire people, situations, friendships, relationships. Again, healthy boundaries. Some of you may kind of reflect back on your own experience with your mother or without your mother, and there's some sort of guidance to be gained there. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that is a message coming through here. That's for some of you. Others of you, 6 of Water is sentimentality, it's nostalgia. It can be soulmate energy, but here's the thing. With this 6 of Cups, it's very much looking at like the pond reflecting. Oh my God, have you guys seen that SNL skit? It's like a reflection pond for like sensitive little boys. It's supposed to be like a, you know, little kid's toy that, anyway, it's very funny. It's very funny. Okay, moving on. There isn't 2 people in the 6 of Cups, though. What I'm trying to say is like, this feels like a mirroring or a karmic connection, but I'm not sure it's a soulmate connection, because by being in this, it is reflecting back to you what you needed to see. And it's not to say like, shame on you, here's your lesson, this is what you needed to do and you didn't. It's not. It's that I think you're starting to see with a higher perspective what you're willing to tolerate in relationships and what you're not, or situation things, you know, people, situationships that you tend to get into because there is something attractive and alluring and sensitive there. But part of it also makes you uncomfortable, so it might be reflecting back to you areas of your own self that you need to work on, that maybe you are not a person that, again, there's a couple messages. Maybe you're not a person who receives compassion and love and empathy well. Maybe you prefer to do that to other people and be the mom, you know, whether you're male, female, or whatever. It's like you may be the person who loves to be there and be sensitive, but when somebody shows that back to you, it's like, oh, this is too much, like I don't know what to do with it, because it makes me uncomfortable being the recipient of that. And for some of you, it's because you were raised in an environment where you didn't have, you know, arm around the shoulder, mom and dad, I'm so proud of you, I love you, are you okay, let's talk about feelings. You may have, and for a lot of Geminis, that's probably true. You may have grown up in a household that was very much like, show up, do the work, you know, Capricorn energy, get your hands dirty, life is about money and safety proofing yourself and blah, blah, blah. And so something or someone here regarding the sensitivity and the emotions, it's an area of struggle. And if that's not you, Gemini, it's your person. But here's the thing, with the 6 of Water, it's both of you in ways that maybe you don't even recognize. And this message does not seem new to me. I think I've given this to you in past readings or another sign. So, you know, feel free to cross-watch on whoever this may involve. But yeah, I think what's going to help you move forward is reflecting. What is this relationship or this situation trying to mirror back to you and show you about yourself? That's really what this is about. Like, that's what tarot and astrology and all that is about. Like, and like I say that knowing, like, I just told you to cross-watch on your person. Yeah, you can do that. But here's the thing, and I do believe this. When you cross-watch for a reading, like say you're into a Cancer or an Aries or an Aquarius, whatever. when you cross watch on them, you hear the messages that you need to hear. But it's like we're always the hero in our own story. And so I think we need to do the quote unquote shadow work and illuminate like the dark stuff within us to see things from another perspective. And again, it's not to hate on ourselves. It's not to judge ourselves. It's not to beat up on ourselves, but it's to acknowledge that we are flawed and we don't always act in the highest vibration because we're not superhuman. You know, everybody falters. And the Chariot is very much addressing like, acknowledging the light and the dark within us, but being able to love the dark and love the shadow. And by that, I mean, let's shine some light on it. Let's acknowledge it. Let's love the areas of us that were never shown any love or attention, because that's how we're going to get them to grow and progress and move forward. Again, Chariot energy. I feel like I was on a tangent and then I just kind of lost it. So whatever. That's the universe being like, wrap it up, Annie. All right. Hopes and dreams and desires for this for Gemini. The Emperor. All right. I mean, I think you want someone to grow up and mature. I think you want someone who's able to take care of you in the ways that you're able to take care of them. You may desire something with a Leo here, something to do with taking a more aggressive or active role, leadership, being a good advocate. Some of you want a major career change. Some of you want to be put in a leader, supervisor role. You want more power. You want more authority. It's funny, it's like this person is trying to establish some sort of control, and that's the word that I very much associate with the Emperor. Getting control on their own life, getting control on their own emotions, getting control on their income. The word control is coming through, but not necessarily in a bad way. I don't hate this Emperor card. I'll be honest, as a reader, I don't love the Emperor. I like the ideas of what it can represent, but frequently when you see depictions of the Emperor in tarot, it's a little bit like, ugh, he looks like he's about to like fucking kill somebody. Like the Emperor can be a very harsh energy. I don't get that with this. It seems like, you know, Leo energy, right? It's not typically shown as a lion. It's very poised here. Like it commands respect just by showing up because it has that vibe. It has that natural ease of I know who I am and I know what I want. I'm not going to beg for attention, but because my vibe is so high and I love myself, people naturally kind of give me that attention, and that's how I find myself in this position of being a good leader, a good person of authority, a good advice giver, a good mentor, a good counselor, a good, you know, and this is not typically a Leo card, but I'm wanting to say it's like Leo is the sun king. It's ruled by the sun and all the planets revolve around it, right? So it's like somebody who brings people together. Some of you may have very strong Leo or Aries in your chart for that matter. Typically the Emperor is associated with Aries. You do have another card here of that, so just putting it out there. Establishing some sort of control, especially in your own life. I think that's a desire that both of you have, but maybe you're not quite there, and maybe this relationship came together for you guys to like have like a bounce back, have that like ricochet and get sort of the impact that you needed in order to maybe wake you up a little bit and focus on the things of your life that maybe require healing, especially childhood healing. It's funny, I did mention something with a sibling too. There could be some rough edges with a sibling that you're trying to refine or smooth over, something with a family, something with a friend, you know. What is the outcome here for Gemini? I'm going to look at this one more time because there's like so many messages here. It's like too vague for me as a reader, but maybe you guys like that. I don't know. What is the outcome here for Gemini? They always come out in twos. Friggin' Gemini readings. I can't. I love you guys. You know I love you guys. All right, Page of Fire. So there's that fire. All right, there's someone taking more action. So if that's what you're hoping for with this fiery Emperor energy moving from the page to the page. I'm sorry, the Page of Water to the Page of Fire. Someone is more able to express or possibly emote what it is that they're thinking. You know, actually, I like this with the Ace of Air. That's the Ace of Swords. So someone is expressing. Both of these cards are about expression, self-expression, what's going on in the head and bringing it external. You know, fire energy, it's like raising it up to the sky, allowing it to be seen. It's visible, it's light, right? So whatever is going on in someone's head, it's about to be known. It's about to be made visible. Or some sort of internal game plan in terms of what's going on in the head is actually going to be put into motion. And for some of you, maybe this is you, this plan of like, are you coming with me or not? Maybe you were like, maybe you reached some sort of point in a relationship where you were establishing some sort of formality or stability, or are we moving in together? Are we official? Are we this or are we that? And you were sensing great hesitation on your person, that they weren't being open or telling you where they were at. So some of you were at this crossroads of like, well, I'm doing this. Are we together? Are we not? Like, what is this? And so for some of you, you could have a more clear conversation where more emotions and feelings are expressed, or you could come back to a conversation and feel like it's still not making the ultimate progress you want. It's not showing up in the highest vibration that you know you deserve, right? Like, you definitely have cards of deserving more in this relationship, needing more. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, you have to get the bare necessities and the basic requirements. If all you're asking is your person to be open and real with you, like, that's a very low standard for this relationship. Like, that's an absolute, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you shouldn't feel weird about, oh, well, am I pushing them too much? And like, no, like, if this is legit, you got to have something firm to stand on, right? If this person can't express to you what they're thinking or feeling, then you know, they're not feeling safe in this relationship. They're not feeling comfortable. And you know, I'm not saying you're there to do all the work, but you may have been a catalyst for this person to kind of have this soul awakening of, yeah, maybe I need to show up in relationships in a more present way. So yes, for some of you, if you don't get the answers that you're needing or requiring, or something to give you clarity, maybe you just want clarity. If some of you don't get that, or if you do, I'm going to say this game plan of you needing to shift or change something, it's probably going to, again, also be the catalyst of, okay, I see something a little bit more clearly now. So yeah, like, I am going to do this. And I hate to be so vague, Gemini, but I'm not really sure if your partner or whatever the situation is quote unquote coming with you, if that applies to your scenario. I'm not saying they're not. I think there's the potential for someone to warm up, because part of this feels a little bit cold. Like the Capricorn page energy, it's like a withdrawing into, again, Cancerian energy. I'm getting metaphorically like withdrawing into their shell. And so maybe you express kind of some sort of truth and share this sort of compassion and warmth, and they actually feel safe approaching, because it's like they know that I'm just hearing the word like light and warmth. You know, it's like they want to be by the campfire, metaphorically, right? Especially if you have strong fire in your chart. They know that there is safety, that there is trust there. They just, if for some reason they were having trouble seeing it before, probably with Six of Cups, because they're replaying past narratives in their head, but I don't know. I don't feel like I did this justice, but to be honest, I'm okay leaving it. I'm not exactly sure what the Queen of Earth is in terms of what you need to release. Does it involve a Capricorn or an Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Does it involve a wife, an ex-wife? Does it involve something to do with the mother energy, stories about your mother that, I don't know, where is that interfering with this? Or where is that holding you back in a way that doesn't need to? Again, if it's not maternal, mama, family dynamic energy, it may also have to do with your money and your long-term career goals and your future. It can also be in a negative vibration, a workaholic. All right, so for Gemini, let's refocus. What oracle wants to come out? What would be helpful thank you for Gemini to hear? Passion. Yeah, there's your Emperor. I do like this Emperor card. I really do. We're going to read about passion. I think that's what this relationship is lacking. And here's the thing, for a lot of you, this doesn't feel like you've been together for more than a year or so. Like, especially if you're on this page of like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Boy, you've tolerated a lot of mystery from this person. So that's why this feels a little bit newish to me. You know, just in my opinion. So take it or leave it, right? It may or may not be your reading, but hopefully by now you are connecting with it, or you've already clicked off. Sorry. Not that I want you to click off. Okay, sorry. My brain is literally in Gemini mode right now. This, but also this, but also this, but also this. Okay. Passion. It is time to cast aside all fears that have darkened your outlook and invite some warmth, I love it, into your inner world. Your spark has dimmed and your motivation has waned. Everyday life has distracted you and you've forgotten what it is that truly makes your soul sing. An intense yearning is yet to be satisfied, although you're unsure of what it is you actually crave. Desire, attraction, enthusiasm accompany you as you remember and reignite that which fuels your passion. So spice up your life as you walk in your true light with full might, vitality, vigor, and reclaim your zest for life. Ooh, that was a struggle. I go from like these fast-paced readings to having to like read text and my brain can't like compute. But anyway, hopefully you got something from that. Gemini, let's throw some zodiac signs on this. Why not? Why not? What zodiac signs want to come out in this reading? Who is speaking the loudest in this reading? Gemini, Aries, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Interesting. We didn't have any Cancer or Aries come out. Oh, yes, we did have Aries come out. Okay, JK. Or Capricorn. That surprises me. But hey, take it or leave it. Thanks for joining me today, Gemini. I hope this helped. Y'all know I'm trying to grow my channel this year, so please like the video, hit the notification bell if you want my videos to pop up on your channel. Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about me. Please, that would be amazing. Other than that, thank you for showing up for me. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon for more tarot.